How you doing, guys? It's LSP. Sunday the 18th of February 2018. As always, this is my own personal journey. Try and take £150 to 10k, and is not trade advice. It's just going through some bits and bobs of what I'm going to be looking at for the coming week. And as always, guys, you know, I like to sit down on Sunday, sometimes Saturday, but mainly Sunday when it's nice and relaxed. You know, anywhere between sort of 9 o'clock GMT to around about 10 o'clock GMT, when the forex market opens again. Mark off some levels, you know, have an idea of what I'm looking for going into the week, and then once I know my levels, you know, I get up on, I get up around about sort of between 4 and 5 o'clock. I sit down, you know, and I'll map out my intraday levels, and then I look for the trades that I'm looking for, you know, based off those higher time frame levels. So we're looking at the weekly of the dollar index. We'll start with the dollar index because it's the benchmark. It's what everything's paired against. Obviously, the world's reserve currency. And I've mentioned this as well in previous videos, that this 3-week price action here, if you look on a sort of like a daily or a 4-hour, possibly 1-hour chart, it's like consolidation. So this area, we've kind of, if you just kind of look at this area and then you go all the way across down to this area, you can see that we've reacted here. Now, who knows why? There's so many different variables. You could say, well, this is, you know, support, or this is where orders are, or this is supply and demand, this is, you know, where some MACD crosses, or who knows. Like the point is this, and I want to say this now before I carry on. You know, everybody has their own way of trading. I think you learn from a lot of different people, and then you create a hybrid system for yourself based off all the information that you have. But ultimately, you can only ever trade what you know through experience and internalizing, you know, what you've learned over the years, you know, whether it's from somebody else or whether it's through experimentation or whether it's through losses that you've incurred yourself. The point is, you will arrive at that through experience, through years of trading, you know, and when you get there, everybody has their own way of describing things. Some people use lines, trend lines, indicators, just naked charts, whatever the case may be. But this is my own personal view on what I've learned over the years from my own personal trading and from, you know, learning from other people who are very good at trading. So, like I said, I don't know why it stopped here, but the point is it has, and I expected it to stop here, and this is why I've been banging on about it for the last sort of 2-3 weeks. And you can see we've had this, you know, nice week down. The first one that came into this, into this area. We had a kind of mute week, then we had this nice reaction, and then we've pretty much reversed the entire move, you know, and we've stopped at the open of last week. So if we drop down to a daily, you know, just zoom in for a minute, and I'll show you. For me, the way I'm viewing this now, you know, this is that week where we had that really nice push, and then last week we had that pretty much the entire reversal, and then we had this kind of Friday pop. Now, think about what's happened here. You know, this complete reversal of the previous week. We had a nice dip into this previous low, and it's rejected about a third of the candle. All right. Now, on the surface of it, doesn't really tell us much, but where it stands right now, the path of least resistance, as I'm sure many of you have heard that before, is lower. Okay, but because we're in this area and it's kind of working the levels, working the orders, it's staying here for a reason, whether that's to facilitate trade or whether it's because there are, you know, bigger entities at play that are keeping price at that level, so they again can facilitate trade. There's obviously a lot of political things that are going on in the world right now, and a lot of reasons why the dollar should be stronger and a lot of reasons why the dollar should be weaker. But as a technical analyst who has absolutely no interest in fundamental analysis, in terms of intraday fundamental analysis, from the macro point of view, yes, it absolutely plays a part, but from an intraday fundamental analysis point of view, I've got no interest in fundamental analysis at all. I'm just I'm a pure technician. And what I like to do is I like to kind of map out where I believe the stops are, okay? And this is the range that I've mapped out. Let me just zoom out one more so I can show you. Right, this is the range that I've mapped out. You can see that we've had this nice, from here, nice trend down. Right, these kind of mini consolidation, mini consolidation, mini consolidation. But this is a bit more pronounced. You can see it's coming to this area, and now it's a bit more pronounced. and I can show you visually what I'm kind of getting at. Okay, you know, you kind of have a small consolidation here, you know, a little bit more of a broad range consolidation here, or broader range consolidation here, and I'll map out this one as well, so I'll just show you. And again, look at the sizes of these consolidations, yeah. And there's another one here. Look, I'll show you as well. Oh, apologies. All right, and there's another one here as well. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys, but you can kind of just to get the general gist. But you can see small consolidation, smaller consolidation, smaller consolidation, small consolidation, and then you see we've come into this area, which is the weekly level that I showed you at the beginning, and then you have this really nice pop, okay, and a complete reversal. So this is a bit more volatile. It's a bit more pronounced. So obviously there's you know, I'm not going to say it's a complete reversal. It's not, but this shows me a couple of things. All right, now. What I would like to see, I'll zoom in one more time, like I said, come down. This Friday's tail has basically taken out whoever was, or whoever has their stop here. Okay, and we've come back down now, and we've kind of rejected slightly away from that. We had a really nice push. Okay, so what I would like to see, and this is what effectively is going to show me, to be fair, I'd like to see a push, you know, at least to here, and then we could potentially see a reverse, a continuation of the downtrend, right? That's what I'd like to see. But if we move up here and we take out these stops, yeah, I don't think that that's going to be a complete reversal. Like I said, this is what I'd like to see. But we need to see now, and I'm going to let the market trade for a couple of days first. Maybe Tuesday, I might open a trade on Tuesday. I mean, Mondays, there's not really much going on Monday, to be fair. I've looked at the calendar. In terms of news releases, it's kind of a bit muted. So we get this, I would imagine, probably 89.50. You know, as institutional level here is where I imagine we're going to get the first reaction. I do think we're going to get a little bit of upside first, you know, and then, sorry guys, I do think we're going to get a little bit of upside, okay, first, and then we may get something like the following continuation, right? So this is the first level that I would expect price to bump its head up against, and then one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to spike through this a little bit and then continuation to the downside, or it's going to give us indications on an intraday level that we will continue going higher and maybe challenge these previous highs up here into this consolidation and take out these stops. So I've kind of got, like, you've got to let it form. Do you know what I mean? It's very easy to kind of look at these levels and just say, yep, I know that price is going to go. Nobody knows anything. You know, we map these out, and I could be completely wrong, because when I sit down and I have these levels marked off, if I'm expecting price to go to those levels and it doesn't, then that's telling me I was wrong and I should be looking the other way. But I'm not going to open a trade to find out whether I'm wrong or right. I like to let these levels form first. So let Monday, you know, let Sunday finish, Monday finish, you know, and kind of get a more in-depth look during the New York session on Monday. And then I can kind of get a general idea of where the market could potentially be reaching for. So for now, I'm looking for a small pop on the dollar going into this week's trading, and then potentially one of two scenarios, either a push higher to take out these stops or continuation lower, and then we can kind of, you know, feel through it, you know, sort of Monday and Tuesday, and get a better idea of which one of those two scenarios is going to happen. Or we could get consolidation, but I don't think that's going to happen, to be fair. Euro USD, very similar to the dollar, but obviously the inverse of. You know, we've had this nice swing down, nice swing, we've created this nice swing point. But again, got a little pop through, took out the stops, nice reversal, and then the market's open now. Been open for around about 23 minutes, pretty much open where it closed. And again, I would probably imagine a move. At least the first level that I'm looking for is going to be 123. We'll call it 123.70. Okay, for a move lower, and then that's going to give me a better idea. Once it gets there, the reaction off this level, you know, maybe something like the following. continuation higher, and if not, then we'll be challenging this area down here. But again, we have to effectively get at least through, for the euro anyway, and let me just do it like this. I'd imagine halfway through this candle here, yeah, 123.15, yeah, I'm happy with that. So around about 123.15. If we get a bit more of a push to the downside, you know, we could effectively do something like the following. Okay, so one or two scenarios are going to be mapped out. I'm mapping out like one of two scenarios for me. Okay, either you know, 123.70, we get a nice little reaction from here, maybe spike down a little bit more, rejection, move higher, small little pullback, and then we take it higher, continuation, because obviously the euro has been very, very strong, you know, for a while now. Or we get a deeper retracement, break the 123.15, possibly challenge the 123 big figure, have a, you know, a little pop back up, create some sort of a swing point, nice reversal, and then continuation lower to take out these stops. And this would not change, guys, the overall direction or the overall bullishness of euro. So the levels that I'm going to be keeping an eye on for this week to start with, early this week, is going to be 123.70 and 123.15, 123 big figure. And you know, I kind of need to see which one of the two is going to form once it gets down here, because if it gets to 123.70, this is the midpoint of the entire range, give or take a few pips. So if you take this top and this bottom, you know, as a full sort of 320, let's just call it 325 pip range, the 123s are around about halfway, yeah, give or take. So once it gets down here, it's going to give us a better indication. You kind of drop to the lower time frames and see whether we're going to, you know, stabilize in that area, reject that area, continue going lower, continue going higher, you know. And you need to see market structure, you know, shifts. And looking at the daily chart, we can get a better idea for where the bigger liquidity pools are and where price could potentially be reaching for. But you drop down. I like to drop down to the lower time frames, hourly and 15-minute, to get, you know, mini, micro, like we'll say micro market structure shifts, to give us a better indication of where, you know, price is going to turn, you know. And once I know where price is going to turn, I can basically take my 20-30 pips and I'm gone, you know, and that's all I'm looking for, you know, per trade. Now, before I show you the pound USD, I want to do the template again. I'm going to kind of refresh it. I want to show you something. Let's turn these off, okay, and I'll do the same with the pound, so I'll do the same with the dollar, and you'll understand why in a second. I'll show you something, alright, and again turn these off. So look at the dollar. We had this nice move up, rejection, and it breaks the low here, right, with Friday's price action. Euro, practically the inverse, nice move down, comes back up, breaks the previous high with Friday's action, lower. Now look at the pound USD. Remember this, and then look at the pound USD. Okay, and to make it a bit more visible, I'll show you this way. Okay, so we kind of have this, so a high, and then the pound USD. You would think, with the dollar doing what it's doing, right, that the pound USD would, even though it's a little bit more volatile and it's a bigger ranges, I would have expected the pound USD to be like this. Okay, but it's not. You know, it's shown lower low, lower low, right? So personally, and I could be completely wrong, because I've seen cable do this before, where it just takes a little while to catch up and then it just rips just out of nowhere. And I do think, you know, sort of medium term, next couple of months, I think cable is going to be up here. To be honest, it's going to, you know, re-challenge the Brexit high, which is a way away, but I do think it's going to do that. Maybe not in the next couple of months, but at some point I think it's going to want to correct this and then come back down maybe. But for now, this is showing me that out of the two, pound USD and euro USD, right, that the cable's, you know, showing relative weakness. So my initial response, like in my head, is expecting lower prices. Okay, at least to challenge this previous low down here. Okay, and I'll just thicken up this trend line. Okay, at least to challenge this previous low down here, and I'm going to put a price point on this. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get down here, but I'm just going to put a price point on this. We'll call it 37.65. Okay, so at least 37.65. So where current price is right now, you're talking about 249, 250 pips. Say this is a weekly range for cable. Now, this gives me more confidence that we're probably going to get higher prices on the dollar to challenge these previous highs up here, because I think we're going to get this week at some point. I really do, because purely based on cable, to be fair, because when you have the three, dollar, euro USD, and cable, and one of them is slightly out of sync, okay, this is kind of a tipping, for me anyway. You know, you don't have to be a genius to to see that this is showing relative weakness. You know, in terms of dollars doing this, euro should be doing this, and so should cable, really, to be fair, but it's not. This is showing relative weakness. So I do think that we may get a small pop, take out, and again, these are all just ideas at the minute. We'll just see how everything forms in the next couple of days. You know, and remember, even if I've got to wait till Thursday to take a trade, for me, it doesn't. I'm easy, man. I'm easy. I'd like to take trades every day if they set up the way that I absolutely like, you know. But I'm not in a rush. You know, the whole point of this challenge account is to get it to 10,000, not get it to 0. So I'm more than happy to take my time. But I think we challenge, you know, Friday's highs and then continue to the downside to take out, you know, this 136.50. The other reason why I believe we're going to get higher dollar to challenge the previous highs up here, okay, and lower cable to challenge the 137.65 is because of the pound Japanese yen. I have a massive liquidity pool down here on the daily chart, and I marked it off at 146.90. Trust me when I tell you guys, 215 pips right on GJ. Pound Japanese yen is absolutely nothing. You could do this in one day and then rip up another 300 pips. So because of the down move that we have this nice draw on liquidity, like this draw on price down here. You know, price is, I'm not going to say it's going to want to come down here, but it's probably going to want to come down here, you know, to challenge the 146.90, and then we get a reaction from there. Because anybody that's been short up here, like, think about it like this: if you've got people that are short down, like short up here, like big institutions, big players that are short up here, you know, and they're shorting more and they're shorting more, they're going to want to offload their positions, and we're better to do that than, you know, a little bit here, a little bit here. They're going to want to distribute their position somewhere, you know, and to distribute their position, they need to pair those orders with people that are willing to, you know, to offload their position as well. Massive liquidity pull down here. It makes perfect sense for, you know, for me anyway. The price actions come down to 146.90, so that's what I'm looking for, and it lends well because we've had a lot of Japanese strength in the last week or so. So I do think that this is where we're going to be headed down here, and that's pretty much what I'm looking for this week, guys. I'm not going to go into anything else. They're my main three for this week. You know, I'm expecting, you know, that level here that we marked off at 89.50. I want to see what price does at 89.50. If it gets up between, you know, the midpoint of this this candle here, then we could potentially be, you know, seeing higher prices. But I'm more than confident with the with what I've marked out, with, you know, with the euro showing a higher high and then cable showing a lower low by a good margin, and then we have the pound Japanese yen, you know, close to this liquidity pull down here by about 215 pips or so, which is nothing for pound Japanese yen. I'm probably going to be looking for a short on cable and a short on pound Japanese yen, and potentially a short on euro USD. But again, just want to kind of see how these things you know, map out during the next couple of days, and then we take it from there. All right, guys. So that's me. I just want to say very, very quickly as well before I disappear. I was looking into Go meeting Citrix, whatever it is. I'm thinking maybe to depending on my schedule, if I can work things out, doing the New York session, and just getting a few traders together. We can kind of pop in there, and just trade the New York session together. Go over some stuff, the usual crap, really. But that's not a guarantee. I kind of want to throw it out there now just to see what the response is going to be like. Because if it's something that is going to help people, then I'll do it. And it's quite cheap. It's like, I think it's £19 a month to get Go Pro or Go Meeting or whatever it's called. I've never used it before, but it looks pretty cool. So it's quite cheap to get about 50 people in there. Not that I'd be expecting. I mean, I don't know. Not that I'd be expecting 50 people to come in there. But anyway, the point is, it's just something that I'm a very outgoing person, guys. I like to talk, basically. I like to get some stuff out there. So just bear it in mind. I might just throw it up on Twitter at some point. But anyway, that's me. That's what I'm going to be looking for this week. And again, as always, guys, all of this can change. Yeah, all of this can change in a heartbeat. And I'm a scalper, so I change my mind so much. But these are the bigger, sort of higher time frame levels that I'm going to be looking for, in the general direction I'm going to be expecting this week. And because I've started the week with an expectation of bearishness on the Euro USD, mainly the cable and the beast, pound Japanese yen, if it doesn't give me the price action that I'm looking for, then I know I'm wrong. And I don't need to get into a trade to know that I'm wrong, because I've already mapped it out and I'm completely wrong. And then I can take a trade in the opposite direction. Alright, guys, so good luck with your trading week. I wish you all the best. I hope everybody makes a shit ton of money. And I'll keep you updated, obviously, throughout the week on the trades that I take through Twitter and through the review videos. I think we're like on day 20. We'll be on day 25 tomorrow for the review videos, and they'll be posted as normal. So I will see you all during the next review video. Alright, guys, take care. Speak to you soon. Ciao, ciao.